Okay, welcome back. This is day 2. I'm going to quickly continue over what we saw yesterday and kind of just talk about how the price kind of played out what we expected and how we could have potentially gotten ourselves involved. However, I should mention today I did not get myself involved in the markets since it was a bank holiday. But continuing, what we saw here is a sweep to the upside, right? So we have this, and remember, if you remember from the last video, you have to go back to the last video. I specifically said if price does sweep the upside, then I may potentially be looking for a supply zone somewhere here for price to go lower, and that's pretty much what price did. Let's zoom in. Let's see if this supply zone has been refined properly or not, because I'm not sure if I did. Okay. No, in terms of the refinement, this is not a bad zone for the fact that it's not mitigated. We could maybe potentially do this. However, it's a bit of a big zone. A very safe bet, a normal kind of mitigation would be that. Now let's go back into the price. Wow, that wasn't even planned. But it's good. So this is what we saw. If you remember from the video from yesterday, I did specifically say I would look for structural breaks. However, here's what we saw here. Price created a high, and high, liquidated it all, right? By creating a supply zone, all right, over here. Created this entire supply zone, this entire candle is now, I get it, it's a down move here, but like that wick itself is an up move. Created a supply zone by breaking past this. Now this whole area is a supply zone as well, by creating 2 supply zones technically, 1 and 2. Okay, let me mark this one up for you. So now we have that supply zone over there. How do we get involved? 1 supply zone creation, 2 supply zone creations, which is more of a block of a supply zone, called a supply block, and we look to enter at, ideally did 50% of this. Have our stops there, pretty tight, and we aim for the lows. However, price then never entered here, so what do? Here's the beauty with what I do is, even if the price leaves without you, you're gonna get so many more chances that you shouldn't even worry about missing in price action. Fear of missing out does not exist. To me, it doesn't exist to me. It cannot affect me. Let me explain to you why. So if price broke down here, created this supply zone, okay, broke down lower, came up for it to break down again, came back up, swept that, died all the way. Could have potentially taken this creation. However, you could say that's not a strong enough creation, because what the fuck is this? This is a higher move. So let's fuck that. Even though, let's be honest, that would have lost, unless you account for some slippages. Sorry, account for some spreads, then you may still have been in. But let's assume we got 1 minus here. Where is it? -1, okay, and we enter again at the creation of that supply, okay, and now we go on a higher time frame and try to see where we could have aimed to go. Now we were there, all right. We could potentially aim for where? This entire area is a demand zone. Maybe take profit 1 over here. Yeah, completely valid. This is our valid down move before the break up, so take profit 2. This is our next valid demand. Oh, we could go to the refinement and maybe somewhere here. That again gave us that, so take profit 3, and then liquidation for the entire area as our final take profit. So that's a total of 12.69. 12.69. Now you need to understand that the reason I'm getting these numbers now is because I I only look to enter when the market gives me what I want from the zones that I myself have marked out. I'm not taking trades because it just gave me a pattern here and I think I should enter. I didn't take the trades because I just have this random area here and I want price to come in. It's not a flipping supply and demand, sorry, support and resistance zone. Like, I didn't just put that, oh, price reacted off at once. I'm not doing any. I didn't put a. It's a trend line. It's following the trend. Look, it's got one bounce. Hopefully, if you haven't. Come on now, you're embarrassing yourself. Like, just listen to what I'm saying, okay, and you'll make some money. All right. So like, just listen to me. Just listen to what I'm saying. Now, to be aiming for the very high risk to rewards. Oh, also, I should also mention this, just for the transparency sake. Even though this may look like it's mitigated, yeah, look, like technically the wick did go below the line, but the reason I'm not counting this price move is because on FX Open, don't know who the fuck they are, but on FX Open it said they mitigated. If I go on O1, they might have not been. If I go on forex.com, it might have not been, and it's such a tiny move that it doesn't mean anything to me, you know. So this I doubt any of the brokers gonna get this move wrong, but this one very likely. So that's how you're gonna count that, not this. Anyway, you would say, why not just aim for this demand zone? The reason you couldn't is because there's so many times where price never comes to your actual zone and leaves without you. It happens so many times. So if you're aiming for this very zone, who's to say that price won't leave without you? Like, it most likely will. It might just start shooting up. Even now that it's broken through this liquidity and maybe found some solid ground here for it to move even higher, it could do that. Look, it's already starting to go up. So just understand what it is that you're doing. Give me 1 second, guys, I'm gonna be right back. Anyway, so this is what I'm expecting for tomorrow. More or less expecting the same thing, right? Obviously we're gonna wait for this range to form, and depending on whatever it does, again, like if it breaks up and then continues back down for it to reach this area, I'm still looking for buys, but do understand the confidence behind these buys are not as strong as if this price point doesn't get swept. So it doesn't invalidate anything. It's just kind of more like an extra confirmation or confluence, but it's still very, very valid. But anyway, yeah, I'm keeping this zone, and I'm definitely keeping this zone even after price comes in and trades out, unless it breaks above this point, which could happen. But even then, I would still maybe have these two on. Definitely this, less likely this. So yeah, that's kind of just not much new to the expectations of price. I'm definitely not looking for any sells, unless price breaks above this, and then I don't know, I may have to. I will update everything and all the knowledge tomorrow anyway. So that is my little forecast for tomorrow, and concludes my market review for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.